gosh, it's Paul!
At least I'm gonna cut this part off.
It's fine.
How do I even start?
I don't know. How did you start the last time?
I didn't start the last time. I started to introduce myself first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe
Yeah.
introduce yourself first.
I feel like we've already begun.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we have arrived.
Yeah.
We have arrived, yes.
Okay. So today I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. I am with an eventer, a host with the most, an experienced junkie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
And owner of Brunch On A Sunday, Ontshiametse, Ramorola. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I have to alternate now.
Yeah.
I think it's been a joy to have you. Well, to have you in my life, because I think we've had conversations around the same things, that, you know, like planning around things that we want to do, and we've also sort of observed the similar things around where we live, you know, and what's lacking and what we want to see. And so I'm guessing that's how Brunch on a Sunday starts.
100%. That's
Right?
where it started, yes.
Yeah. And so when do you start it? What was your first I need to do it myself?
Well, where did it start? Brunch on a Sunday started a long time ago. Hey, well, the idea of it. I think it was 2020, 2021. And the reason I started it was, of course, the love for hosting, the love for food, the love for music. And when I looked around our hood, I realized that, you know what, we really don't have spaces like that that can give you a sense of understand, like but like mellow music, great conversations, great company, amazing food. That's where it stems from, because I felt like I needed a space like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is about the other complex next to the mall.
Yes.
I was like, finally, a restaurant.
Restaurant, yes.
Finally.
Yes, it's actually one of my favorite
You know,
places.
but like, and then no restaurants. I come and see like king.
Oh, you mean crossing?
Crossing.
Yes.
I was like, eh? ShopRite enngwe hape. Like, why not a space where we could just go and not exist outside of groove culture, you know? Because I feel like that's all we have. That's all the entertainment we have, you know?
I think, our hood, that's exactly who we are, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's groove culture, alcohol, nice vibes, nice time. You know what I mean? That's just how Hammanskraal is. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. No, it's not a terrible thing, because I grew up in it. I participated in it. Still participating in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good time. I just think we need a balance. That's
Absolutely.
I just think we need a balance. And that's why, for me, I felt like Brunch on a Sunday was needed. And that's why I wanted to bring it to the hood. So I'm just hoping that people would catch on it quickly, or quicker rather, and experience something different outside of Spigar.
And also, there is a market for what you're doing. And the reason I say this is because we have friends much like us who, when they need or feel like they need to sort of consume a different experience, right? we go to town, we go to the east of Pretoria,
Yes.
we go to Joburg, and that is it's quite inconvenient. It's exhausting, and it's like, I think, quite unnecessary. If we have a market, then why can't we then service ourselves, right? But also let the market be open to being serviced by us.
Yes.
Like, or something because wow, and then
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, be open to being serviced by me. Come and support, you know, and let me give you the experience. Allow me, you know. And so, which brings me to my next question then. What happens at Brunch on a Sunday? What sort of experience, mood, vibe can people sort of expect?
Okay, so with Brunch on a Sunday, you can expect a very chilled vibed experience. I think most importantly, the culinary experience. Yeah. I think most importantly,
and you throw down one thing about you.
I mean, I try. I really try. And the hosting, you know, this one thing I love is hosting. That is my passion. Hosting is actually the one thing that I want everybody to experience when it comes to Brunch on a Sunday. I want them to feel like they're at home. I want them to feel like they are sitting on a table with close friends and family, and they're just having a good time, you know. And I also wanted a vibe in terms of music, because I'm a big fan of deep house, your R&B, your lounge. I actually didn't want piano because, hey man,
Say
no shade to piano, I love it.
But like, yeah.
So I wanted to introduce a very chilled experience where the most important thing that I want people to concentrate on is the food. I want them to make conversations with new people. You know what I mean? I think that's what I want people to experience when it comes to Brunch on a Sunday.
I think that's also how that's how I started sort of the event side of Momo. That's where it started as well, right? Because I was just like, oh, I want people to experience something different. I was just so tired, you know. And I also felt like people were also just like, you know. And there's also not like there's like a plethora of restaurants. And they don't have alcohol. Anything close to decent, Nando's, Spur, and it's like, you know, that's also like, those are family restaurants, you know, and also the aesthetic is quite a bit. But then I didn't go to the last Brunch on a Sunday, but then I saw photos, and I was like, what is that?
You must see the show.
You must see.
Yes.
I was like, what? Like, you went
to go Brunch on a Sunday.
Like, how do you take us through the planning of it? Like, how do you decide what are people going to sit on? How is it going to look? What are you going to serve? How many of these things are you going to serve? Like, take us through the planning. What goes into your mind?
Okay, so initially when I started, I wanted, because I love gardening.
You do.
I love gardening. I love sunflowers, and there's just something peaceful and what's that word? Tranquil. About sunflowers. They just make you happy, right? They make you just want to smile when you see them. So that's where the whole thing started. I just wanted people to feel like that. That was the first one. Then secondly, I wanted to give people the experience of just being relaxed in a garden full of flowers, birds chirping, because I want them to feel relaxed, right? And then I just want them to feel comfortable. So that's where the whole planning starts. In terms of food, honestly, it just depends on the stuff, because with Brunch on a Sunday, I want to serve people food that I love, that I like, and I just want to share that with them. So, and obviously, I mean, if you're charging people like 500 rand, you must give them
500 rand.
500 rand, because with them they're expecting food that they would buy at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Somewhat, So that's the kind of food that I would like to give my customers or people who are coming. What else? Planning.
I feel like you've answered the question.
Have I?
Yeah, I feel like you
so.
have. You really have.
I hope so.
I really do hope that people catch on, because also another thing with Momo Mouth is I'm trying to create, like what I've seen, because we've also rebranded, right? It's no longer just the event we're doing. It's now concentrating more on creatives and the arts and the culture around that. And I'm realizing that we don't have culture, like of people who consume art, of people who go to live performances, right? Or at least not so regularly.
Yes.
And like something is missing. And so that is why also even introducing stuff here could also be so difficult, because although there are people who want it, there are people who need it, they don't expect that it could come from here. They've always, and this is just my perception, that they've always gotten it somewhere else. Like, okay, but it's okay when I got like performance guy. And it's like, okay, no, but you can get it here, right? And also with the culture of consuming art and creating art, I'm also trying to get people to come together, like create a community, right, where people can collaborate, where photographers and DJs and something and models and people who are within the space can come together and create freely and not necessarily like it can just be free in the sense of freedom, but free in the sense of like economic freedom,
Yes.
But like just create art and for that is beneficial for all of them, and so that I feel like that's the only way we can, because you don't get the recognition, but when you come out and actually start working, you rooting people out from their corners as well, and I mean your light and their light. So like I think I'm saying this to say that I'm finding it difficult to even get people to come for interviews or to get people to speak or collaborate. Or when I say I'm trying to do this, I was talking to like one DJ. I was like, I'm trying to get like a sound to do like a listening session, with very few people, and we do this for my podcast, right? I can pay because I understand like maybe that is your time. But like, don't you just want to just do it for free? And like, don't you want to just do it like to help each other out? I can do it from that whenever you need my help for whatever, then I can also come to your rescue. So then, do you have anyone within eventing that you think you could collaborate with, should you need collaboration? I'm not by any means suggesting that you need to collaborate, but like, do you have anyone who you think, oh, okay, should I need to collaborate with someone, there is someone like that and they are willing? Or do you have people within your space who also support you, like people who do events as well, who are like, oh, Ontsi's doing this, or is it just your friends and people maybe well waiting?
I'm gonna start with waiting. There used to be a space like that for creatives.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember I was speaking to a friend of mine who's also in the event space and she's been doing it for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
She did say, you know what, at the beginning there was a space like that, but over the years it just fizzled,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I actually appreciate the fact that you're trying to do something to get that back again, you know. And in terms of collaborations, you know, with Settle's economy, I get where a lot of them are coming from.
True, absolutely.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need food on the table.
True,
you know?
absolutely.
And a lot of people would say they've spent a lot of time and effort on their craft and so a part of me gets it, but at the same time I do get where you're coming from, because we need a community like that. Because if, let's say, you want to pull a very big festival of some sort, you will need help, you know. And it would be great, or it would be nice if you have that amongst the community, our community specifically, you know. So I get that 100%, and I think we do need a lot more of that. We need a lot of unity when it comes to that. In terms of, do I have people? I do, but very few. I do, but very few. But I think most of my support comes from my family. For instance, if Brunch on a Sunday, when I have guests, obviously I can't be in the kitchen 24/7.
Absolutely.
So I need to have creatives in the kitchen working while I'm also working outside with everybody who's there. So my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, I don't even like to call them my cousins, my sisters and brothers are always there in full support. And I think they are also very much creatives in their own rights. Because what I've noticed also is all of us, we have something that has to do with, can I call it the arts? It's not the arts. Can I say the arts?
Yeah, like sort of the physical manifestation of your imagination.
Yes, you know, we have cooks, people who
Yeah.
are very, very who love cooking. You know, I have someone who really loves to build stuff. We have someone who loves flower arranging, we could
Yeah.
say, you know, table arranging, you could say. So it's always a collective effort. Brunch on a Sunday is not just Ontsi, you know what I mean? It's
The people behind it.
there are other people behind it that make it what it is today. So I 100% get it when you say, why don't we have that community so that we can be able to reach, you know, those goals. I think it's important.
Yeah. And I think also a community is also very necessary, because it's like, you know when you create that instantly someone is going to come and consume.
Yes.
You know, like, and people are going to know about it, because I think sometimes you can create for yourself, you know, but sometimes you also want to create to share with other people, and when there aren't people to share your art with or what you've created, it's just like, then what's the purpose, you know? And I think I'm also trying to, the bigger picture here is to also, I mean, obviously encourage people to create, you know, and when there is a culture, when there is a community, when our voices are sort of, the English escapes me, but like a bigger voice together,
Yes.
you know,
and have one goal.
Right? We can work collaboratively to even reach heights we never even thought of, you know. We can creating employment, creating I don't know, like sort of removing the stigma around where we live.
Yes.
Right? Having people turn their heads and see Hammanskraal in a new light. So, oh, actually, you know, there's this event that's happening there, and it's really great, and you get this and you get that. Oh, there's this really cool artist who does this, and you know, and also I realized that there are people, like, I mean, I've seen corporate sponsor these kinds of things. And it's like, that's what we should aim for.
Yes.
You know, but I think we have very little power, like we have very little to source from, because you know, like, and people who could come and sort of heighten or exacerbate the experience. I think like and the only people who actually ever flourish in the space that we're in, it's people who already have money. You know, it's people who already have money. People by and also because of the money they have, they automatically also have influence and power.
Yes.
Right? So, and even their starting point is very different from our starting point. Their things automatically already look so good
because the funds
were there. You know, and it's just like, but if you guys came regularly and supported me and paid the fee, we could do this and even more.
Yeah, we could all be at the same level, all of us.
100%.
Yeah, I
because
get that.
when we went to the market,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I was shocked that something like that existed in Hammanskraal.
Really?
Yeah.
And it has been happening for a long time now.
And I think also it's because high school isolated me, so I didn't really do much. I didn't even have friends at that point. And then going to uni as well, and then you know.
Yeah.
So I never really participated in the social events, in what the culture actually really looks like and feels like, until when I was forced to actually be here.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and be in that space.
Yeah. And so when I got there, I was like, oh snap. People are doing it.
No. People are really doing it in the hood now. There are people who are really doing it.
Yeah.
I'll talk specifically with the market. I think what also helps the market is the brand itself has been around for years.
Yes, true.
It has been here for years. So I'm going to give them their flowers in terms of how they got themselves here. You know, they worked very hard to get themselves here. I think I just wish they would also give, not the market specifically, I'm talking about people in general. I wish they could give the small ones a chance also. Like, let's experience new things. If I'm coming with a new thing, I know it's a matter of, I know we all start somewhere, and I get it, and it's okay. Look, it creates that thing for your brand to say, you know what, I started with 4 people, and then now I'm on 50. You know what I mean? But I wish they would give the small ones a chance to experience it on your own. Don't be afraid to pay that $500. I'm sure. I promise it's worth it.
I know it's worth it.
I promise it's worth it.
Yeah.
I really promise it's worth it. Come and experience it. If you feel like I did something wrong, help me out in terms of, okay, we really put some more, so I can be able to grow. So I wouldn't know.
And also, don't come in looking for the pause.
Yeah,
you know,
that too.
You know, come in open-minded and come to experience, you know, the vibe for what it is.
Exactly.
And then should you genuinely pick up, you know, an area of improvement, then voice it.
Then voice it.
Yeah.
That's literally all I'm asking. Like, we're all trying to start something. We're all trying to put bread on the table. You know, we're also trying to grow creatively. So we can't do that without them.
Absolutely.
We can't do that without them. So I'm just really hoping and praying that one day they catch on to mimosa, they catch on to Brunch On A Sundays, and all the other
ones we don't know about. Yeah.
And hopefully they will also be able to come here. And
please, my name is Mpikisana, I'm the owner of Ramorola. Please come to my podcast.
Please come.
Come.
Please come. So we need you guys. We really, really need you guys, and we won't grow without you guys.
Yeah.
That's you know.
That's
one thing I
honestly-
also appreciate about the people who come to brunch on a Sunday, abathaba ukubulela. Abathaba ukubulela. And I've realized that okay, there are certain things that you realize that clearly I need to improve on this
that.
time. So again, I wouldn't be able to do that if they didn't come.
True. You wouldn't. True.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I would be doing the same thing over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over again. You know. So and also, I really also wish fresh eyes, you know, fresh taste buds come into the space, because I mean, if I have the same people every brunch on a Sunday, listen, I love you guys so much. But if I keep having the same people over and over again, and I get it, it's the family, we do that, but also it can make what you're trying to do not grow as well.
Yeah.
You know.
And I also think, as someone who is like creative, you also want to serve again fresh eyes, because you want a different perspective.
Yes.
You know, you
always want a different perspective.
You know, and you also want a different reaction each time.
Yes.
You know, like
yes.
because I mean, there's only so many times I can say wow.
You get what I mean? And sometimes I feel like you're my friend. You're just gonna say wow all the time.
Exactly.
You know?
So when a stranger comes into the mix and someone who completely doesn't know you and experiences that, and this is good.
It makes me happy.
Right?
Listen, it makes my heart jump with joy.
And it also makes you want to cook more and do more.
Exactly. It gives me that push of, okay, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. Yeah. So that's really what I want.
And I think also we have this thing of, we operate from a point of not enough. Right? Where there's not enough money to go around. So even the audience are like, chatting Chian, right? And then, but also from the point of like the creators themselves, it's there's no room, you know, there's no room for one more. Like God forbid there came another market, or God forbid there came another illustrator, another person. It's like, oh no, now we're competing, and of course it's competition, but it can be healthy competition.
Yes. Because
I think we need more.
We do.
Right? I think I love the market that we went to, and oh guys, I had a beautiful experience. That was
we
great.
had a good time, eh?
We had a really good time.
really had a good time.
But I think I want another one and another one and another one.
And another one, yes.
You know, because I think that's how we also create culture around, like, you know, the culture of consuming such things, right? Of people who go to markets, of also, and also markets offer this thing where people can come, like vendors, people can come and sell stuff. And that's how we find out. I mean, we had the best meat,
right? And I can't when I have it the last time I went.
And the next time you're able to recognize them, or like the next time you cook something and you're like, yo,
listen, they are in the books.
Do you understand?
They are there with. I would really love to collaborate with you
right
one day.
Another thing with Rati does the simp and paint, right? When I went, I wouldn't have known of, is it Mommy and P? Yes, I hope they're okay with me mentioning their names.
I hope so too. But I think they'll be fine.
Right? I wouldn't have discovered that. And those arrangements that she does. And
those grazing tables.
The grazing tables.
So good.
Amazing. Right? I was like, should I have the budget for this?
You know what I mean? That is me also. Just like, the day I do have the budget for that, and I don't have to do it by myself, I'm calling one of them. And also, I'd like to mention that when you spoke about support, my goodness, Rati is very supportive.
Oh, absolutely.
Rati is very supportive. Shout out to her. She's one of the first people that when I came into the event industry, because she was also in it.
Yeah.
She was the one who also kind of helped me navigate certain things. So within that space in the hood, 100% shout out to her.
I remember when I was planning an event that was cancelled. It was supposed to happen in February, and I needed a venue, and I couldn't find one for my, like, for the life of me, I couldn't find a venue. And the two people that I spoke to, whose venues I thought could be a good fit for the event, one of them didn't get back to me at all.
Wow.
And another one didn't, like, he responded, and then when I was like, okay, how much are you going to charge me? Let's talk money now. Nothing. Right? And Rati was one of those people who was just like, take this one's number, take that one's number, take this one's number, take that one's number, because and that's amazing that someone who's built a connection for themselves are able to sort of pass them on.
Yes, and share that with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're able to, I've built these connections, I know these people, and you need help now, and I believe in what you you know. Twara, let me plug you. And it's like, yo, I remember one of the guys, I was like, dude, like, I really need, even if, like, mentoring or some information or tips, you know, because you've done this before.
Yeah.
How do I also do it at the scale that you do it? And also, I'm finding it difficult to find a venue.
Can you help me out?
Can you help me out? Like, where did you find venues? How did you do it? And he was like, oh, so how much are you going to pay me? I was like, hey. Go put the information. Like, clearly I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting out.
Yes.
So if I'm going to pay venue, DJs, entertainment, this and that, and I still have to pay, before even that, I have to pay you, venue guys, then pay the person for
the venue.
It just doesn't make sense.
Hey man, you know, sometimes I just feel like
by gatekeep.
They are gatekeeping. Definitely they're gatekeeping. And I think most of them gatekeep because I don't know, maybe they feel like they started from the bottom and they didn't get any help, so in most cases they feel like everybody else must just
start from the bottom
as well. I think that's how generally a lot of them work. That's why also when I do things like that, I always try to reach out for family first.
Yeah.
Because it's tough out there.
I wish I had family to reach out to.
Yo, it's tough. It's very tough out there. I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
It's only a few people that could actually even offer some little advice here and there. Very, very few. You
know, I think there's one guy who, he hasn't helped me yet, right? He hasn't helped me yet. But the fact that he's still in my contacts, I feel like he's willing to help. The fact that we were able to take this from Instagram to WhatsApp, and he was still able to respond to my questions and my pleas. This is someone who is willing. And when I do need help from him and I can get something, you know, like help from him, then to go away. But out of but with that being said, I feel like we've come to the end of the episode.
Okay.
Are you good to go? Or like you
I'm good. I'm good to go. I had a good time.
Okay. What are your last words in terms of this episode? What is it that what message would you want to leave the people with? Okay. Besides the fact that on the 30th, get Brunch On A Sunday.
Yeah, I was about to say, listen. Yes, firstly, Brunch On A Sunday on the 30th, this Sunday. please come and experience what I have to offer.
The 30th of April.
Of March.
Of March, sorry.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
And also, I would like, in terms of the people in the event space, guys, let's help each other out. Let's be there for each other. It's fine.
Yeah, just a crumb.
Yeah. You know, help the small ones out. You know.
Yeah.
And then it's fine. You can let them defend themselves. You know, and work their way up exactly the way that you did. And to every paying customer out there, please do come and experience the things that a lot of these small events have to offer. Help them grow, and let's grow the event space in Hammanskraal.
Absolutely.
Let's try different things. Let's try something new, you know. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Didn't make you want to be anything.
30 to 500 per person.
Yeah. Didn't make it right. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming and honoring my invite, Unti. You're one of the very, very, very few people who are willing to do it.
I'm curious.
Thank you so much, and also thank you so much for honoring the calling to service us in the way that you do.
And it was a tough call to answer.
I could understand why.
Imagine 20